Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Flying Off the Bounce, and we have the other man up in the building, the host, the most, Ian Sachs. How's it going?
Hello there, everyone. John, Ryan, Eli, we've got the whole squad. And guys, I put in the plug before the show. I said, we're talking NFL, and you guys did your basketball segment when I was on a phone call, and now it's NFL time. Week 1.
Yes, sir.
Biggest takeaway.
Start it off, you guys. Anybody?
All right.
Anybody. Come on.
All right.
You guys watched NFL games.
Yeah,
I
watch NFL games. I'm gonna give out one. I like always talking about my hometown, Washington Redskins.
Oh.
And I'm gonna say one thing. CBS did RG 330. I was watching the whole game from beginning to end, and they never took the camera off of Robert Griffin III. When Kirk Cousins threw a touchdown pass, the camera was on RG3. When Kirk Cousins threw an interception, camera was on RG3. So I'm gonna say this: CBS did him dirty, and I was laughing the whole time. And people I was watching the game with, they're saying, "Why you keep on laughing?" I said, "They're doing RG 330. They're doing RG 330 up in here because that's wrong." I'm sorry, it was wrong. I knew they were gonna do it. I said I'm gonna expect them to do it throughout the season. Wherever Kirk Cousins make a mistake or he did something good, camera's gonna be on RG3, not Jay Gruden, not the other players. It's gonna be right on him. So they did him dirty. Honestly, another thing about the Redskins game is that I won't be surprised before bye week you won't see either Colt McCoy or RG3 as the quarterback. I don't think Kirk Cousins. Don't get me wrong, I think he has potential, but something's gonna kick off. It's the Washington Redskins, so I expect something to kick off where you're gonna either see Colt McCoy or RG3 making the play calls, but I expect Colt McCoy before RG3. I think Jay Gruden's going to do whatever it takes to not have RG3 on that field. So I expect Colt McCoy by the bye week. That's what I can take away.
That's a good one. The biggest surprise, I have to say, the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, yeah.
Beating the Colts, man. And Tyrod Taylor looks like he could be the man for that job. You know, he did 2 touchdowns, right? Oh, man. I mean, this man's been on with an organization that have, won a Super Bowl, which is the Baltimore Ravens, but he never got that opportunity. And I've always said it to people: if Tyrod Taylor gets a chance to be with a good team, he's gonna shine. If he gets that opportunity. And what a great way to start against the Colts and Andrew Luck. I mean, he looked phenomenal. He looked really, really good, and I'm happy for him. And especially, I have one friend that's actually a diehard Buffalo Bills fan. Shout out to Frankie. He was excited himself, and he was very, very shocked. And what's funny is he has Andrew Luck in his fantasy. So he was a little upset that he lost in fantasy, but he was very happy that his favorite team won. That was really the biggest surprise for me, and especially they did a great job there. So,
Well, me, I'd like to talk about the St. Louis Rams.
what
Performance they put on against the Seattle Seahawks. Man, oh man, what a surprise. 34-31 in overtime. St. Louis comes out on top. Big time game. St. Louis definitely looks like an up and coming team, and I think they're gonna make some noise this year. Definitely in the NFC West, possibly in the playoffs too. They really impressed me. The defense is excellent. Although they gave up 31 points, their defense they look sharp. They got a couple tweaks that they got to fix here and there, but they definitely look sharp. And what a game by Nick Foles. Nick Foles.
Well, he still hasn't surprised. He did the thing. He did his thing for the Eagles as well. But hey, to transition with the St. Louis Rams, and they're a young team.
Yeah,
that's good, man. Especially beating the Seahawks.
They have some promise. They definitely do.
Yeah, hey, that's a good choice. I mean, a lot of games this year has, especially the week 1, is very exciting to see. I mean, obviously, people don't want me to hear it. They don't want to. They don't want me to say it, but I'm gonna say it. I have to say it. The Oakland Raiders, man. I don't know if they're going back to their old script of books, but they're not just winning, baby. They're losing, baby. That's what it is, and I cannot stand seeing them lose. And then Derek Carr got hurt. It's What is going on with the Oakland Raiders, man? Charles Woodson is injured. They're saying he might be out. It's not looking good, man. And Amari Cooper, he got a little action with Pac-Man Jones. I mean,
$35,000 fine for Pac-Man Jones.
Oh,
$35,000.
Did you see what happened? What he did to Amari Cooper? He literally took off his helmet and banged the back of his head on that helmet. Like, that is not right. That is not right. But I feel like Amari Cooper can still step it up. With these type of teams, and I don't like talking about my own team like that, but when a team is starting from scratch, you can't expect to do good right away. So it's definitely going to take time for him to moon in and to fit in, because Tim Brown had to do the same thing in the 90s. Tim Brown had to fit in. Raiders weren't that good in the late 80s and early 90s. And then as soon as they started making transition with the coaches and the general managers, they started picking it up, and then they had their little run in the early 2000s as one of the top offensive teams with Rich Gannon, Tim Brown, Jerry Rice, Charlie Garner. They had a great team, especially defensively. They had Rod Woodson, Charles Woodson. They had a lot of great players on that team. But now, since they're back from scratch, like the late 80s and 90s, it's definitely going to take time to get better,
They definitely have a rising star on defense in Khalil Mack, though.
Yeah, Khalil Mack. And they just signed Aldon Smith.
Yeah.
I mean, if he could get his act together off the football field and be a right fit and get his head straight, that would probably be the best duo ever.
Yeah.
Khalil Mack and Aldon Smith together. That's scary, So if he's able to get his head straight and look at this, you know what? He could have not gotten signed by anybody.
Yeah.
But the Raiders took the chance because they know how well of a player he is. Very talented. I mean, this man was breaking records before he was getting in trouble. Right. Just hopefully he don't break records to get back in there.
Right.
So let's see, what happens for the Oakland Raiders. But for week 2, what do you guys think for week 2? Who do you guys see? Is there any upsets you guys believe that can happen? What team do you think is starting off well? So we'll go with Ryan on this one.
One thing I want the player I'm looking at. I want to look at a specific player for week 2. I want to look at how Marcus Mariota is going to do in his second week in the NFL. You already saw what he did in the first week, which was amazing. And one thing I was talking to some friends about. I think Jameis Winston is in a better situation because of the weapons he has offensively with Vincent Jackson and Mike Evans. And if you would put Marcus Mariota with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, oh my God, that would be amazing. But to see what he did with the Tennessee Titans, I want to see if he can continue that throughout the season. So I think I'm looking at how well Marcus Mariota will perform this week.
Yeah, he looked fantastic.
Yeah,
you talk about making great decisions. The best one was it looked like he was about to run and then he threw it, and it looked perfect. I was like, wow. I mean, they were giving him. It wasn't. You know what was good about him is they weren't giving him too much hype the way they were giving like Johnny Manziel when he got drafted.
Yeah.
Where he was going to be fantastic as soon as he got into the NFL. It's because they also had Jameis Winston. So if you think about it, back in the 80s when they had John Elway and what's his name from the Dolphins, Dan Marino, they were both giving him hype, but it wasn't one particular star that they were focusing on. So Marcus Mariota, great job, man. 4 touchdowns in the first half, right? That's crazy. Like, wow, So Jameis Winston, they were saying the other player to throw a first pick in their first time playing in the debut in the NFL is Brett Favre. So who knows? This is just week 1. There's plenty of ball game to play.
People just look for anything,
anything to judge off. But that's the media.
Any silver lining they can find.
One thing, I'm gonna make a really bold prediction here. I think Marcus Mariota is gonna have a better rookie year than Jameis Winston, but when it comes career, I honestly think Jameis Winston has the potential to have a better career than Marcus Mariota.
Okay,
that's one thing. Also, too, one thing I have is a question: what do you guys evaluate Johnny Manziel's performance in the loss against the Jets?
He played okay. He probably really wasn't expecting to play, but as a pro, you have to always be ready. He did he could have did more, but I think he played decent They eventually got blown out, you know.
Yeah.
But I think he played pretty decent. Couple things he has to clean up here and there. I think he runs a little too much.
Yeah.
He definitely was missing some open receivers when he just trying to run Tebow style, you know.
Yeah.
But I think overall the more he plays, the more experience he gets, he'll get better and better each game.
You see him starting. You think? I know Josh McCown got hurt.
Josh McCown got hurt.
Yeah.
He got helicoptered.
Yeah, but do you see John Manziel, or let's say if Josh McCown gets healthy again, do you see him taking that starter role, or you think they might lean towards Johnny Manziel?
It depends on how long Josh McCown is out.
Yeah.
And how well they're doing as a team. If Johnny Manziel has them, say they're about 500, because I don't see them being too much better than that.
No.
I think they'll stay with Johnny just to get him experience, because he is the quarterback of the future. Josh McCown, he's getting older. He's just a temporary quarterback.
Yeah.
You know? So I think they want to stick with Johnny. And if they're making a playoff run, then who knows? But if they're doing bad, and they still have a chance to make the playoffs, they might bring Josh back in there, you know?
Oh, yeah. One thing I want to ask you, since you're like me, we're from Maryland. Yeah. What'd you think of the Washington Redskins performance? I know me and you watched the game together, and we both wanted to walk out throwing some chairs around the dorm. But
I'm just getting fed up. You know, it's just we have so many opportunities to pull away from teams and to put our foots on their throat.
Yeah.
But it's just we just don't capitalize on anything. You know.
Yeah. Oh, also another thing I wanted to say. I saw an article on Deadspin. They said the first title was the team people that are more angry at the Washington Redskins are fans.
Yeah.
And one thing I would say about the Redskins fans, I'll take about the Washington Redskins. Did you see the stadium at FedEx Field? I felt like we was at an away game.
Right.
It was. I seen
so many Dolphins fans.
I'm like, where's the Redskins fans at?
Right.
I think
it's changing. It's just.
I think
crazy.
people are giving them hope.
Yeah.
And like I said it in our first show. It's not. You can blame it on RG3 you want. I say he got the potential. He has the talent, but you gotta blame it on the head guy, not Jay Gruden, not Scott McCloughan, not Bruce Allen, Dan Snyder.
Yeah.
I always think I'm gonna say this. It's gonna be kind of crazy. I don't think the Redskins will